are reviewing the June 2025 Paper 1 for Human and Social Biology. Contains 60 questions. Let's begin with number 1. The ability of a living organism to detect and respond to changes in its environment is referred to as irritability. Question 2. An example of simple diffusion is the movement of oxygen from the alveoli through the capillaries. So C is our answer. Item 3 refers to the following freshwater food chain, and we have the organism labeled 1 is, and we see that we start off with the producer, we go to the primary consumer, and then we go to the secondary consumer. So at the third trophic level, we have the secondary consumer. Question 4. Which of the following cell structures trap energy from sunlight to help in the production of simple sugars? And we know that that will be the chloroplast. The chloroplast in plants does photosynthesis. So C is the answer for number 4. Number 5 refers to the following diagram, which shows an animal cell. The structure labeled X is involved with, this is X here, the line is running to it, the production of proteins because it is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Question 6. Which of the following vitamins is the skin involved in producing? And that would have to be vitamin D, which makes the answer also D. Question 7. To which of the following food groups do oats belong? Many of us have eaten oats, and it is a staple. Question 8. The process by which undigested food is eliminated from the body is called digestion. Question 8, the answer is A. Question 9. Kwashiorkor is a deficiency disease caused by lack of protein. Question 10. Item refers to the following diagram, which shows the structure of a typical tooth. Which of the following labeled part above supplies the tooth with nutrients? And you will have to go with C. It's pointing to the pulp cavity area. So that's the area with the blood vessels. Question 11. Which of the following graphs best represent the effect of pH on the activity of the enzyme salivary amylase in the digestive process? Salivary amylase is secreted in the mouth, right, by the salivary glands, and we are just looking for the correct diagram, and it would be C. Question 12. In digestion, the role of teeth is to break down food to increase its surface area. Yeah, that's what mashing up and grinding food is, right? It increases the surface area for chemicals to work on. Item 13 refers to the following diagram, which shows a part of the human digestive tract. Which of the labeled structures above is primarily responsible for the digestion of proteins? The place we will all be selecting is C, the stomach. Proteins only are digested in the stomach. Question 14. Which of the following vitamins is not fat soluble? So we are looking for B, vitamin C. It is actually water soluble. Vitamin B and vitamin C are both water soluble. Item 15 refers to the following steps in a food test, and we see the end is purple color observed, or lilac. Step 3 indicates the presence of proteins, which is a protein test. Which of the following represents the equation for anaerobic respiration? It means we are looking for no oxygen and we are looking for lactic acid produced with energy. So the answer for 16 is A. Item 17, which of the following structures is not part of the respiratory system? A very familiar question, and esophagus is the answer. Item 18 refers to the following diagram of a model used to demonstrate breathing in humans. Which of the labeled parts represent the diaphragm? Which is 4, right? The bottom of the human respiratory system. So D is our answer. On to question 19. The following incomplete table, which shows blood vessels and the organs they supply. Which of the following rows correctly identifies 1, 2, 3, and 4? So if it's the lungs, it's a pulmonary artery. That instantly points our answer for question 19 to C. Question 20. Which of the following is the correct sequence of events in mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? Pinch the person's nostril, place your mouth over the person's mouth and blow gently. Remove your mouth from the person's mouth. Tilt the person's head backward. Following those steps, 20 would have to be C, right? We tilt the person's head backwards first, and then we are pinching their nostrils, followed by placing our mouth over their mouth to be able to blow. You must remove your mouth after you blow. So the order of the steps lines up with C. Blood pressure is highest in the arteries. 21, the answer is B. 22, which of the following vitamins assist the process of blood clotting? And that has to be a vitamin K. The answer is D for 22. Which of the following is not transported in the plasma? Ask question 23. And it will have to be urea from the kidneys out of the body. Right? That is not part of the circulatory system. It's part of the urinary or excretory system. Question 24. The double pumping of the heart allows blood rich in oxygen to be taken to the lungs during the first pump, oxygen to be taken to the body during the second pump, carbon dioxide to be taken to the body during the first pump, carbon dioxide to be taken to the lungs during the second pump. Just take your time with this question. Go through the answers. Oxygen to be taken to the lungs. Oxygen doesn't need to be taken to the lungs. Oxygen to be taken to the body during the second pump. That's correct. Carbon dioxide to be taken to the body. Carbon dioxide doesn't need to be taken to the body. Carbon dioxide taken to the lungs during the second pump. Carbon dioxide is taken to the lungs during the first pump, which makes 24. B. 25. The pair of bones that rotates the most while manually sharpening a pencil is they are talking about the bones in the forearm. And if you just take out your sharpener and try sharpening a pencil, you will get the answer to this question. So 25, we are talking about B, the radius and the ulna. Question 26. Muscle groups that oppose each other to produce movement are described as antagonistic. C. Question 27. The function of the marrow in long bones is to do the production of red blood cells. Question 28. Bones act as levers while cartilage assists with reducing friction at the joints. So 28 is D. Up to question 29. The small volume of urine will most likely be produced after excessive exercise. The midway point reaching question 30 refers to the following diagram of a section through the human skin, which labeled part represents the sweat pore. Remember the sweat pore, if you track it downwards, it will go to a sweat gland. So it means 2 is the answer, which is B. Which of the following responses occurs in the body when a marathon runner consumes too little water? More AVH secreted increases reabsorption of water. So B is our answer. Question 32. Which of the following hormones is responsible for causing the liver to convert excess sugar to glycogen? That hormone will have to be a very popular hormone, insulin. 32 is A. Question 33. Which of the following statements is not true about the endocrine and nervous system? They both have this same response time. No, that is definitely not true. And that not is in capital letters. So that makes D the answer. Question 34. Which of the following actions occur to bring about accommodation in the eye? You know it is 2 things working antagonistically. They tell you the names of them: the suspendary ligaments and the ciliary muscles. So while one pushes, the other must pull. Yeah, antagonistically. One must relax, the other contract. So just read your answers and see which one happens. The tightening of the suspendary ligaments through relaxation of the ciliary muscles. That is our answer A. Item 35 refers to the following diagram, which illustrates a nerve cell conducting an impulse from sense organs to the central nervous system. They already tell you it's a sense organs, and they tell you which one in particular. It's a receptor in the skin. The cell above is known as a sensory neuron. 35 is D. Question 36. Which of the following statements about astigmatism is correct? The cornea is uneven, bending light, so it does not converge on the retina. 36. The answer is D. Item 37 refers to the following diagram of a longitudinal section through a human eye. The part labeled X is this is the lens right here. So it makes X the iris, which puts our answer at A. Question 38 refers to the following diagram, which represents 1 month on the calendar Tanya uses to chart the menstrual cycle. During which part of her cycle is she most likely to become pregnant? The part where ovulation is happening, which is 2. The answer for question 38 is B. Question 39. Fertilization occurs in the oviduct when a sperm and an ovum fuse together. 39 is D. Question 40. Sexual reproduction is defined as the fusion of gametes, which makes the answer B. Question 41. Which of the following methods of birth control is least effective in preventing pregnancy? We want the least effective. They put it in capital letters for us. So that is the natural. The natural is not very good at preventing pregnancy. 41, the answer is B. On to 42, during asexual reproduction, an organism produces new organisms that are identical to the parent by a process of that identical means mitosis. So the answer for 42 is A. In which of the following structures is an allele For eye color located, that will be chromosomes A. Which of the following statements about meiosis is true? It occurs in the uterus, 4 daughter cells are produced. Well, that jumps out at us to be correct. So B for 44. Question 45 refers to the following illustration of genetic engineering that is used to produce a useful protein. What is a possible disadvantage of producing useful proteins in this way? We are looking for a negative effect, and it will be the use of bacteria in this process can be hazardous to health. That is the negative effect for 45. The answer is D. Question 46. Which of the following is an example of a nutritional deficiency disease? The first one, rickets. Question 47. Natural passive immunity involves, read all the answers, take your time for this question, antibodies being passed to a child via the placenta. 48. Antibiotics are chemicals which can safely be taken into the body. They do not harm human cells, but they destroy, if it's antibiotics, they're destroying bacteria. So 48, the answer is D. 49. Infected persons displaying signs and symptoms of diseases. Which of the following signs and symptoms are correctly classified? So the signs, something you could see, the symptoms, something you can't see. Which one matches up? We will have to go with C. Item 50 refers to the following diagram showing the life cycle of the housefly. Which stage is prevented by keeping household refuse properly covered? That will be the adult not getting to lay the eggs. So B. Question 51. Which of the following can be prevented by healthy lifestyle choices? And you have sickle cell anemia, which is a genetic disease. So no matter your choices, you can't prevent it. It's in your genes. SEMA has the following signs and symptoms: constriction of bronchial tubes, coughing and wheezing. She is most likely suffering from asthma. 52 is A. 53. Which of the following diseases is not transmitted by Aedes aegypti mosquito? And for 53, the answer is malaria. Malaria is transmitted by Anopheles. Everything else is Aedes. Question 54. Which of the following gases contributes most to the greenhouse effect? Carbon dioxide, that's a very popular gas that everyone talks about anytime we're talking about global warming and the greenhouse effect. So 54, the answer is A. Compaction is done at landfills in order to do what in question 55? In order to get rid of the spaces that harbor pests. Question 56. Chlorine bleach can be added to drinking water to destroy microorganisms. The answer is C for 56. 57. Which of the following are effects of releasing untreated sewage into rivers and lakes? Death of fish, yeah, that's true. Increase in bacteria, yes. Decrease in oxygen, yes. So we're looking for the answer that says everything is true, which makes 1, 2, and 3 D. Question 58. In large-scale water purification, the formation of acid which destroys organisms is achieved by the process of chlorination. On to 59. Which of the following labels indicate the process of evaporation? Evaporation is from liquid to gas, and that is the arrow pointing up into the sky. This is a water cycle, makes the answer. C. And final question 60, which of the following substances is biodegradable? That will be A as our final answer for this paper, and that's the end of your exam.